The PRS SE DGT, one of the highest selling guitars of 2023. Now, I grabbed this guitar off of Facebook Marketplace about four and a half months ago or so I've been jamming it for a few months, and I wanted to kind of weigh in and show you guys what I think of this guitar and maybe who I think this guitar is for. I made a video that night that I actually brought this guitar home. I paid about $6.50 for it on Marketplace, so it's a pretty good deal. So I've been jamming it ever since. I did a little video that night that I brought it home, so I'll link that one in the description so you can check that out if you want to, on my initial thoughts when I first got the guitar. But who is this guitar for? If I were to just sum this video up right now and just tell you what this guitar is, which if you're not familiar with the McCarty style PRSs, it's basically a Les Paul. They even have single cut ones that are like really Les Paul-y. So this one is a very unique guitar. It's a unique PRS. It has the split coil capabilities like most all of your PRS do, but the neck profile on it is kind of beefy, but it does this thing where it kind of widens and tapers out different as it gets down to the higher, you know, notes on the fretboard. So it's not necessarily that weird feeling to me. It's nothing, you know, too crazy feeling, but it does feel great. It's a great feeling guitar. But who this guitar is for, I think it's for maybe a person if you don't like Les Pauls for whatever reason. If you don't like the fact that maybe the tuning is not real stable on them with that break angle from the nut to the tuning pegs, you know, if you know the way the strings kind of separate at harsh angles. This guitar has a body contour on the back, so it is a lot more ergonomic than your average Les Paul. It's not quite as heavy as some of your Les Pauls, but it has some really creamy tones you can get out of the split coil stuff too. I mean, it's got a thick, punchy feel to it, but it's very different. So it has the vibrato tailpiece on it, so I mean you have the whammy on it, which obviously most Les Pauls do not have that. So it has a lot to offer. It's a great price on this guitar, and you know, PRS used to be the doctors and lawyer kind of deal, but now you can get them in all kinds of price ranges. They even just came out with the SE CE24s in the satin finish for like $4.99. So I mean, you can't really beat that kind of deal on these. They're excellent value, and I kind of talk about that in that first video that I did on this. It's just an extreme value. That little jam that I did at the beginning, that was all on the middle toggle position on the pickup selector on split coil mode, so it was the bridge and neck combined on the rhythm and the lead parts. I was going to kind of demonstrate more of what this guitar can do with the bridge and maybe even do some distortion and stuff, but I was just having so much fun on that position. Even when I started doing lead stuff to, you know, lay down the lead part over top of that, I just didn't touch it. I just was so inspired by that sound that it was getting. But I've played this thing at church. I've been playing it in my little studio here and stuff, and it's a very well-made guitar. I think if you get a chance, you should really pick one up. There's a very good reason why these things were some of the highest selling guitars of 23. They're really great guitars, and they can cover a lot of ground. I really think you'll be very happy with them. My only gripe, if I had to say anything, is if this was your only PRS that you've ever had, maybe if you get this color, it doesn't have those bird inlays that everyone loves. It doesn't have the flame top, but you can get the McCarty, you know, tobacco sunburst with the bird inlays and that beautiful PRS top that, you know, where all you think of PRSs, you usually think of that. But I think that PRS definitely has a guitar for everyone out there. They even got the tellies out there now. But 4 months later, 4.5 months later, you know, the honeymoon's over. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked out John Nathan Cordy, he has a video out there kind of similar to this one talking about his SE DGT, and it's great. I'll link that one in the description too. He talks about the treble bleed circuit a lot, where you can dial those volumes down on both humbuckers, and it doesn't make them woofy and muddy. It kind of keeps them clean. It can really do a lot, you know, where most of us will. Me personally, I don't really mess with my volumes a whole lot, but like he was saying in his video, that you can mess with them things and it stays clean a lot. It's very usable all across the board with those knobs. And that, you know, Mr. David Grissom, he kind of knew what he was doing. He does a lot of that dynamic stuff where he messes with that volume, and that's why that volume is so close to that bridge, you know, because his hand is right there like people would do a Strat. But definitely check his video out, and like I said, I'll link the description of the first one I did on this one. But that's my verdict after, you know, 4 or 5 months in with this guitar. It's a really cool guitar. And even as a guy that has a Les Paul, you know, I have Strats, I have a PRS CE-24. To me, this one has a very, very unique voicing to it. It just has a fat creaminess that, I mean, it's really, really... It's a very special guitar. If you have a chance to pick one up and jam it, you should really try it. I think it's an excellent guitar to go do gigs with, just because of the low price and just all of the ground that it can cover. But definitely check them out. And check out some more of my videos in the future. Hit that like, subscribe. Just check me out some more on some of these other videos coming up. Check out some of my old ones. But we would love to have you come aboard the Ike's Jam Room. Anyways, we'll see you next time.